Um, Before we say anything just yet, I'm gonna go on YouTube just to give it a check
Should
real
I
quick. Yeah,
accept this new invitation?
I mean I would. I don't think it would.
All right.
I don't think it would do much, but nah, you never know.
I will do it.
Let me see here.
The broadcast has been stopped. Did I mess it up?
Mm, well, why the bro? Well, it says I'm still live. I don't see what the. All right. Oh, come on, man. Oh, whoa, here. All right, Eddie, talk.
Yo, yo, still here.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, whoa, here. All right, Eddie, talk. Yo, yo. Yes.
Yes, even I heard me. All right.
All right, so. Oh my God, the podcast is playing audio of like me playing the audio of my laptop. All right. Um, Good Lord. All right. Well, now I'm not gonna go as loud as I normally do, so just bear with me, everybody. And we're live. Welcome to edition number 2 of the podcast Legend Killers with our special guest for the second night in a row, Eddie underscore Nigma.
Bam, what's going on, folk?
Man, so you never believe the week I had, at least. So we'll get to Elimination Chamber in a minute because this was pretty much the first pay-per-view. Well, not the first, but this is pretty much one of the few pay-per-views where I got every single match on the card wrong, and at the same time, but the first time I'm actually happy I got every single match on the card wrong. So
Right?
yeah. So moving on with that. Um what the hell? So moving on
Well,
from that, I
we
went
need
to
to go to our original conversation when we were kind of predicting, because like you said, I think I only got one match on the card right, and that was the tag team turmoil. And I don't even know if you can count that, because didn't we pick three teams that would
we
win it?
picked
So,
three, but it doesn't matter. Hey, hey,
yeah,
it counts because it was a prediction. Doesn't matter.
true.
Um,
Actually, we got one right. The kickoff match.
the
Mojo Rawley and
kickoff.
Kurt Hawkins.
Did I say Mojo Rawley?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
did.
even. You know, I've looked over the original clip, editing so much of it, and still somehow I don't remember if I even made a prediction on it. Um, okay. I guess I did get one right. If I did. Um, so yeah, if you're wondering why my voice is the way it is right now, it's because I went to SmackDown Live Tuesday with
Yeah.
Will Thomason. For those that don't know, he is on Gold Coast Wrestling. Grim Kennedy. We were with Roscoe Wallace, aka Jamal. We were with Doc Lesnar and Quincy Jones Go. We were with a few other guys I had yet to meet. I met Quincy Jones's podcast co-host, he was a pretty cool dude. We got to start a lot of funny chants, and dude, I don't know if you saw the chat, but I made this sign that said "Marry me, Becky Lynch," and
I
you,
did see that.
yes, and you know what happened? She noticed
It
my
made it onto
sign.
television. Did she really?
Yeah, dude, she was doing her ringside thing, right? She was looking at the crowds and she looked at my sign and she looked me dead in the eye. I swear to God, she looked me dead in the eye and said, "Yeah, maybe." Oh my God, was I going ballistic?
Oh,
Like Will, like, dude, I swear to God, I was so happy like that. Like I was going so crazy. I was like actually glad that there was a seat behind me because I swear to God I would have fallen right on my head. That's how like literally they say like like you're tripping, dude. You're tripping. No, I was literally tripping. Like um I just oh my God, I
that is
was
awesome. That is awesome. Did you watch it on TV? Did you make it on television?
Dude,
Or did you sign at least?
I I I go home. I go home to find that my TV didn't even record the episode. Like
Oh,
like my I don't know what was wrong, but like my DVR, my cable box has this weird little habit of like disconnecting itself almost. Like I don't know how to describe it to you. Like it almost freezes in a way. Um
so then it won't record while it's doing that.
yeah. So like I have to disconnect it and reconnect it to be able to what's it called? To get it to record or show my old DVR stuff. So I was like the one episode I needed the most. Like
Well, there is a backup plan if you have Hulu. They'll have
yeah,
the episode
that's
on
true.
Hulu.
I do have Hulu. So let's see if my sign did make it on. But then again, I feel like Hulu would edit that out even in, I get the weird suspicion. Um,
Lame.
it's just like, damn, man, that's so unfortunate for me. But on the bright side, she noticed my sign, and really, that's what mattered to me. That was
And
my
give you a maybe.
yeah, and gave me a maybe. So I'm possibly engaged now.
There you
Um,
go.
but
I want to possibly go to this wedding.
yeah. uh, well, I mean, if it's happening, you're definitely going, dude. Like,
Yes.
I'm not even gonna lie with you. Like people in my general area kept like congratulating me, like, like, like she actually said yes or something, and like I was out my mind so much, like I was literally having a hard time breathing. I was like, she said maybe. Like I was like so exhilarated. Will got my hat and he like kept fanning me. I look over to Becky Lynch, see her like actually laughing a little bit, and I was like, Jesus Christ. This was my very first interaction with my hero. With my
That is
hero.
awesome.
I got to make her laugh and say maybe at the fact that I asked her to marry me. Like, this was.
Eddie Lynch is on the road to WrestleMania with Becky Lynch at the altar.
Oh, man. That's you know what? That's my dream episode now. Like like if I were to ever like I don't know. You know what? Forget it. If I were to ever sign with WWE, that would be the first thing I would aim for. Marriage with Becky Lynch. Now,
You know what? I want to write that storyline.
but in all seriousness, all jokes aside, like seriously, Becky Lynch, if you have any sort of way of watching this, which I doubt you will, just want you to know you really made my night, and honestly, I could not have been any happier with that day ever since then.
That's
Um,
what's up.
and it was totally worth losing my voice over the next day. Totally worth losing my voice.
You
Um,
deserve it. You deserve it.
ay, ay, ay. But okay, so let's get to the Elimination Chamber review, my man. So,
All right.
let's go with the pre-show match, Mojo Rawley versus Kurt Hawkins. So,
Yeah, I kind of remember saying Mojo kind of needed it. I didn't see Kurt Hawkins really going anywhere. I really don't see him going anywhere, so why not build up Mojo Rawley? I mean, there's the potential there still, the tag team with Zack Ryder and everything, so.
yeah. So, what did you think of the match itself?
Match itself was all right.
Eh,
Let's see.
I wasn't a big
WWE
fan of it.
2K17 grading standards, I'd say 2.5 stars.
To be perfectly honest with you, I was not pleased by it. Like honestly, like they forced like the impression of like opening card, like low mid card, trying to
Right.
tell a story. Like they had like four false finishes in the match, um, which really in my mind should have ended the moment Kurt Hawkins faked him out. I think that would have been the perfectly fine finish. I don't think there were too many botches in this match, which I'm
No.
fine with seeing. Um, overall, you know what? I wasn't expecting it to be a great match. Son of a bitch, that scared me. God, all I wanted to see was just some the card itself to see, make sure I didn't gloss over anything. I get greeted with Bray Wyatt the new. Um, but please don't play again. All right, I'm just gonna go to a different site. But in all seriousness, yeah, man, that match was not really anything special. But Mojo Rawley is new. I'll keep in mind of that. Brian Myers, Kurt Hawkins. As a pro wrestler, I've never really known him to be like outstanding in the ring. So you know
Right.
what? I was not expecting it to be a match. It surpassed expectations. So I'll give the match that.
Yeah, I
Um,
expected it to be a star and a half, but I give it 2.5 stars. So
yeah. Um, so yeah, that's. I guess we'll just we'll end our piece with that unless you have any extra comments to add.
nope, I'm at peace with that as well.
All right. So
Now we
next,
can jump into the good stuff.
all right. So next, here was where I was especially wrong and especially happy I was wrong. So we had Becky Lynch versus Mickie James.
Yep. And boy, oh boy, it was a really good match. Those two have
Yeah,
really good chemistry in the ring together.
I
Really good
yeah,
chemistry.
I really enjoyed it. I know people like to make fun of the fact that, oh, these women hate each other, but they get each other in a headlock. And here's the thing, I think this one is a case of where it made sense to have that actually happen. Because the story with these two is about wrestling ability. Who was, the women's wrestlers that started the revolution wasn't about like these two really hated each other, which I guess they do, but really it was about their wrestling abilities. Like Mickie James wanted to show the world that her wrestling ability was not gone, and she wanted to prove to the world that she still had that wrestling ability, which with
Right, it's two
the
different revolutions in two different generations.
yeah. And with the way I'm describing it, you would think she was a face almost. But freaking hell.
Well, Mickey James is a classic. I mean, look at the way she
Yeah.
debuted in,
Yeah.
and like
You know,
she won the championship her very first WrestleMania, so she came in strong and she stayed strong. And I
yeah.
think it was a lot of that backstage nonsense with John Cena and Kenny Dykstra that kind of
Well, she
destroyed her
said
career.
in an interview that like she defended John Cena saying like he didn't get me fired, I got me fired. And to be
Right.
fair, she did last an extra 2 years after that.
True.
So I mean, maybe I want to like take Nikki's side and say I'll play devil's advocate here and take Nikki's side and say or Mickey's side. Sorry, I got Nikki Bella on my screen right now. Um um I'll take Mickey's side here and say yeah, maybe it was a case of her making the wrong decisions. Um but who am I to know, to be perfectly honest with you. So,
Exactly.
yeah, like I
I
was
mean, I'm
saying,
just glad to see her back in general. I was always a fan of Mickey. She
yeah, me
always brought it.
too. Me too. So, yeah, I think this was a case where it made sense because the point was for these two women, they wanted to prove who was the better wrestler and who was a more revolutionary wrestler, I guess. So overall, I thought the match was great. Every single spot made sense. I like that they added aggression. I like that they added, just every little detail. Overall, I would not have given Becky the roll up type of type of win, but uh, it's fine. I think if
Well,
you're
I think
gonna,
it's necessary because it gives them a reason to get in the ring again, which I think they did on SmackDown this week,
they
right?
did actually. I got to see that live. Um,
Because I think they need to build up a nice rivalry with these two. I think it'd help the both of them out, especially if you're not going to have Becky going for the women's championship. Have her
well,
in a
that's
solid
true.
feud with someone, who has talent as well.
Well, that's true.
Because
That's true.
that's what Becky needs right now. If she's not on the title hunt, she needs to remain a solid wrestler so people will
Yeah.
still believe in her and, always
Yeah.
root for her when it came for championship time rather than her just get stale and fizzle out.
Yeah.
Because
And
she's on that thin ice right now to where that can happen. So they need to get it right with what they're going to do with Becky in the future.
yeah, and making to our last point in the last podcast, we apologize if we're trying to, rehash some of the old conversations here, but I think Eddie Nigma had some good points that needed to be heard, which couldn't have been heard in the last podcast. So, I was saying um, like last week, I honestly feel like had Becky not had that infection, we'll call it, I feel like
Right.
she would have maintained the same momentum had she had not gotten that infection. But I think since then she has dropped a lot of momentum, and I'll be right back. Can you just take over for a minute?
Yeah. No, I completely agree about the whole momentum thing, though. I mean, she had a lot built up. I didn't know about the infection at all, to be honest with you, but that makes a lot of sense. I kind of hate that they kind of slowed down Alexa's momentum, but I guess they really had no choice to.
All right.
But they definitely do need to pick up Becky's momentum again.
Yeah, so I'm back. So as it turns out, I kept I was keeping my parents up. So what are you gonna do? Um, all right. So but yeah. So what was the last thing we left off with?
We're talking about Becky as how important it is to rebuild her momentum right now
Yeah. So
after
like
her infection.
yeah. So I feel like Becky was almost cheated out of that momentum that she had had, which I feel bad for. But you know what? Life deals you with these cards, man. Um, now, yeah, I think everything you said made sense. You know what? The roll up, at first I didn't agree with, but since you put it that way, perfectly fine with it. Let's get to the next match on the card, which I believe. Oh, maybe I did get this one right. So Kalisto and Apollo Crews versus Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah, because I chose Dolph.
Yeah. So
Now, the funny thing about this match is us talking about it, and I think you called it exactly where they're going with Ziggler's character now.
yeah,
Watching him snap and everything after the match, I thought was really awesome. And I was like,
yeah.
damn, Ed caught that one to the T.
Yeah. Not so I from the looks of it, we're getting Ziggler versus Cruz at Mania, pro-
Yeah,
probably. Um, unless they blow it off and you know um give Ziggler a new opponent. You never know these things. Um, I think I think overall it made sense, especially for Ziggler to attack Paul Cruz and attack Kalisto. I did not expect.
Kalisto.
Yeah, I did not expect Ziggler to attack Kalisto before the match.
Right.
Yeah, that
So that was a
that
nice twist, a nice surprise too. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
yeah yeah. Um, I really liked how they played the numbers game up. So like Ziggler really proved like he would wrestle circles around Cruz and Kalisto single handedly, but when those two were together, all of a sudden Ziggler was just not able to handle the both of them. So I think the
Yeah, for
psychology was there for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, for a handicap match, which I usually don't like, but I give that one like 3 stars.
Yeah. Um, overall, I um, don't really know what to say about the match. I think it was all right. I don't think there was anything that wowed me in the match. So, um, apart from all of that, yeah, it was all right. Um, Next, let's get to the championship turmoil.
Ah, well, one of my picks made it, American Alpha.
Yeah,
Um, I just think it made the most sense to keep their momentum going into WrestleMania because I mean, I already see them and the Usos, putting on a pretty solid match at the Mania, or maybe
yeah,
even including the Ascension because it looks like they're really trying to give them a push, which they deserve. So,
yeah. I'm I'm
yeah,
I'm I'm happy for them. Um,
yeah.
I hope we see a little bit more of the other tag teams too. I hope we see a little bit more of Brizongo and the Vaudevillains.
See what they need to do with these tag teams like that, like the Vaudevillains and Brizongo, is like throw them in a feud.
Yeah,
Build up some solid tag team matches. I mean,
yeah,
I remember back in the early thousands, a lot of the tag teams then. I mean, that's why the tag team division was so good because they had so many teams, and teams had their own storylines, and it didn't have to
yeah.
be for the championship, and it was just really cool, really good time to be a tag team.
It really was. So yeah, I think you could save these guys personally. In our last I had made this pitch that what's it called? Slater and Rhino, or not Slater and Rhino. Brazongo, could split, and if they don't work as a tag team, have them work a feud to where Tyler Breeze gets put over, um,
Right.
and you elevate Tyler Breeze as a mid card dude from there. Give him some a shot at the Intercontinental title. See how he goes with that. He's got all these options. To me, I think there you got a dude right there who's pretty much who's pretty much willing to do whatever the hell he can for the company.
Is necessary, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm not saying nobody else is, but you know, when you're like Bray Wyatt almost, if when you're willing to put up with the company handing you loss after loss after loss, and eventually to get yours, I think Tyler Breeze is one of those people that deserves his.
Like they
Um,
say, good things come to those who wait.
exactly, and hopefully we don't wait too late for Breeze.
I mean, not to jump ahead, look at Naomi. She waited, what, 8 years?
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
You know? Yeah.
So next we got the second women's division match, Nikki versus Natty.
This match turned out how I kind of expected it to.
Hmm.
I knew they were probably going to keep building their rivalry um,
I was
going in
expecting
WrestleMania.
I was expecting it to blow off. Honestly, I
Well, I didn't expect it to because they built it up too much and I knew it wasn't going to be settled with just one more match. But the thing that made it interesting is remember, we had brought up that rumor that Maurice and Miz would go against John Cena and Nikki.
yeah,
And then during the match, you see Maurice gets knocked into the powder or whatever, and it gets all over her. So I was like,
that
wait a
is
minute,
true.
could this be the start of this feud?
That's
So that
true.
that was one interesting thing that I took away from that match, and I was like, well, shit, maybe that rumor might be true.
That's true.
Which also ties into other things that we'll get to later in other matches. This is why
Mhm.
this was a very interesting card,
So I
especially as
assume,
opposed to the conversation we had about it last time too.
yeah. So I assume this coming SmackDown will be the blow off, and then Miz and
Exactly.
Maurice will, have some tie-in.
I'm
Um,
predicting Maurice is probably going to cost Nikki the championship over that powder thing or something like that,
yeah.
and it's just going
I was
to go.
I was not happy with the technical wrestling at the beginning. You know, um, Everything in the match was right besides the technical wrestling. Nikki or Natalia slapped Nikki, but then and I thought that was okay. That's good. But then she went to the side headlock takeover, and then like they kept going on with a little bit of technical for about a good 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm just looking at it like it's just this. It wasn't that necessary. I think you should have had them kind of pull a Paige Emma in NXT where they were just cat fighting almost, double legs, single legs, whatever. Um, um, Everything else though, really good stuff. I liked a lot of their spots. Um, Honestly, this was I would give this a strong. I would say this was maybe third place in my opinion. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
I mean, like I said, I think it was a solid match. I mean, it was everything I thought it was going to be, pretty much.
yeah. So next we got Randy Orton versus Luke Harper, and we pretty much called this match.
Yes, we
Um,
did, and it was one of the matches I actually really didn't care about going into it, and god damn, it blew me away.
yeah, it was a really good match.
Yeah,
Um,
Luke Harper, wow.
I was caught in a daze. Like that's how blown away I was. I have not had a in a 1,000 yard stare watching TV like since eighth grade. You know.
No kidding. And the thing is, like, I knew the guy was talented because I remember when he beat Dolph Ziggler for the IC title, I think
Yeah,
a year or two ago, and I was just like, damn, all right, this guy's actually kind of good, you know?
yeah. I
But I
always
still
knew
really
the
never
guy was
paid him
good.
much attention. But
Yeah,
this match, phew.
it's just that some of these guys don't get that showcase talent like I was saying for Breeze. I think he deserves that. The Ascension surprised me in this tag team turmoil. They showed that they got a pretty decent moveset.
Yeah,
Um, um, yeah, so like you know you got to give these guys a little bit more of some headroom to like give these cats
to
a
really
shot. Like
shine.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, like Carmella's another person who I understand not too many people are keen on when it comes to her wrestling ability, but I know she's pretty good. Aside from her
Yeah,
finisher,
I'm one of
which
those people too. I feel
yeah,
like it was still too soon for her to come up. I really do.
yeah,
I'm rooting for her, but I personally would have waited.
yeah, I would have done the same just to like get her character established a little more,
Hmm.
or at least have her at least get introduced with Enzo and Cass, because that would have made sense too. But I get that they wanted the
Yeah.
direction of having her go uh, go on her own as a singles competitor, because I do see her
Right.
eventually winning that women's title belt.
I
Um,
look at her and she has potential, and I
yeah,
think people like that, you kind of give them the Bailey treatment, you kind of make them wait, you
yeah,
know? I don't think they should have held Bailey back that long. She should have graduated with the other three horsewomen, but someone like
yeah.
Carmella, like she needed a little bit more time. Like her character needed more development. I like what it's developing into now, but I'd rather her had come in like that because I think she would have came in a lot stronger.
Yeah. I think the plan was to make her like, um, well, I mean, from what I can guess, maybe the plan was to make her like a strong baby face, and like when Nikki was supposed to return, if you remember, she returned with the heel tag team rather than the baby
Right.
faces. So like when people were caught off guard, I think Creative was caught off guard with Nikki Bella getting the reaction that she got. So that's kind of why they turned her heel. And to my surprise, I think it worked really well.
Oh no, yeah, it does. Because she
Yeah,
was entertaining me with her little side comments at the Elimination Chamber and stuff.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I do like the new direction though. I just wish she would have came in that way. I think it would have been a lot stronger.
Yeah, yeah. So um, I, what was I gonna say? All right, well, whatever. Yeah, I like the new direction of Carmella. I gotta agree with you there. She does actually have a good wrestling ability. She's pretty solid in the technical department. She's a bit of a striker for those that don't know. So like she'll do like a lot of kickboxing type moves. Um, that that's pretty much her move set. It's very small, but I like it. Um, I would just change her move set. That's about it. Um, so yeah. Okay, so next, this is the match where pretty much nobody said she was gonna win. Pretty much you and I pretty much said we loved her, but we knew she wasn't gonna win. Boy, were we wrong. Naomi defeating Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's so cool, so cool. I am so happy for her. And I think I even said that Naomi got to a point in her career where they will never put the belt on her.
yeah,
Because, like she said, it's been 8 years, and everyone knew she deserved this belt a very long time ago. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, if they're not going to give it to her by now,
yeah,
she's just going to be there to put people over. She's
yeah,
always going to have that status, but she's just going to be there to put other,
yeah.
talent over.
And
But God damn it, they gave it to her.
I sent out a tweet, like literally writing out, "Congratulations to Naomi. I've never been more happier to be wrong in my entire life." Um,
Yeah. No
now,
kidding.
yeah. Now, do you still feel the way you felt about Alexa Bliss? Where in the previous podcast you had said throwing her momentum right now would be kind of stupid. Do you still feel that way, or
I do.
you do?
I do. Yeah, because okay, after Naomi won it and they said she's going to WrestleMania, she's going in to her hometown as women's champion, I was like, ah. So I kind of see where WWE is going with it.
Hmm.
However, I would have drug it out until WrestleMania, and I think
And
it would have
have
been
her
more
win it on
special
her
for Naomi to
hometown.
win it in her
Yeah.
hometown.
Yeah, I think
And
that
that
would
wouldn't
have.
have necessarily derailed Alexa's momentum that she had going.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Because
So
Alexa could have won it. It's her first WrestleMania. She's the champion. There's no way she's losing. Naomi, it's her first time or fighting for the women's championship at a WrestleMania. So you could build a really solid story
right.
with that. And plus, it would give them time to build chemistry together because I know they haven't worked together very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just think it would have been better that way. But they went this route. I'm so happy Naomi won, but I just don't know what are they going to do with Alexa now. You know.
Well, I think we might see since pretty much we already know my Nikki Bella versus Alexa, nor my Nikki Bella versus Becky idea isn't coming to fruition. I think we might see a fatal four way with these four women.
You think so?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
So you're saying, okay, Alexa, Naomi, Becky, and Mickey?
Yeah. What do you think?
I could see it. If they keep it one-on-one, though, with Alexa and
Hmm.
Naomi, a part of me thinks Alexa's going to win it back.
Yeah. And have her
I just
lose
have a
on her
strange
hometown.
feeling. Yeah, have her lose in her hometown.
Yeah. I
Because
think
they've done this with people that deserve titles before. They give it to them,
right,
and a week or a month or 2 months later, they lose it. And it's like, wait, seriously? So,
right. Yeah. Charlotte
sorry,
versus
Naomi.
Sasha is like living proof of that. Um, I
Yeah.
think I think since SmackDown like has a different creative team, they'll be a little more really original with that. I think.
I
Um,
hope so.
yeah. So like one message to Naomi. One little piece of advice. I heard Quincy Jones saying this on the night of SmackDown too, so I'm glad I'm not the only one that notices. Now, clearly, at the same time, I feel clearly this is an observation that if I'm not the only one that notices, a lot more people. And I hate to bring this to attention, but Naomi, you hear her on the mic, she's got the right dialogue. And I know she can say it because I remember like the build up for Paige. She had said what you threatening my friends. If I were you, I would choose my words more wisely. And the way she said it was just so, oh my God, it was A1. But now, since this feud, like the beginning of this feud, I'm hearing her voice and she's shaking up a lot. You know, Naomi needs to
Ah,
build some confidence in her promos. Her voice is very shaky. She's going a much higher pitch than what her voice normally has sounded like in the past. Um,
okay. I kind of, yeah, now that you're pointing it out, and Thinking back on past promos, you're right.
Yeah, so I think, for Naomi, I think, get, you're a WWE superstar. You've been here for the past 8 years, like Eddie Nigma said. You should be able to deliver a promo without those sorts of problems. Uh,
Yep, especially if you're going to represent the women as champion.
exactly.
I
Please
want
don't.
it to last long, man, but
Yeah, please don't make the company switch change their minds. You know.
yeah. That's why these next few weeks are going to be very important for her.
Yeah, yeah, especially in WrestleMania weekend. So,
I mean, either way, even if it's one-on-one or the Fatal Four-Way, I hope she has a cool series of matches with the women or women involved just to build that chemistry up,
yeah,
especially if it's going to be Alexa.
yeah, yeah.
Because they've only fought one-on-one, I think, twice. The pay-per-view being the second time.
No,
Any other time
they
was like in a tag team
they
match or something.
they fought at Backlash. They fought the week after that. So they do have a little bit of experience together.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
mainly just been in tag team matches and stuff.
yeah.
As far as one-on-one goes, I think they've only had two.
Mm. No, like they at Backlash, or no, not Backlash, at No Mercy, and the week after that.
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah, so they've had four total, from what I can gather. Um,
Okay.
yeah, freaking hell. Sorry, my voice, my head hurts. Um, yeah. So, all right. With all of that being said, Naomi, great talent, needs to build confidence in her voice. Um, so, with that being said, I'm loving the women's division right now. It is, uh,
Dude, it's solid on both
yeah,
ends. Congratulations to Bailey over on Raw.
yeah. I just hope um, this doesn't mean she's losing it on Fastlane. I'd rather.
Well, if it's a rematch against the Queen, it's gonna happen because I see them building up this pay-per-view winning streak that she's been on. So,
Yeah, and they're pretty much
I
rehashing the same
yeah.
song and dance they did with Sasha Banks, where it was one week Charlotte cuts this promo. Sasha Banks wants a rematch. Charlotte says, "Well, you'll get your rematch next week," and then Charlotte says, "Oh, okay." Sasha wins the belts, and then boom, on pay-per-view, Charlotte gets it back. And then the
Yep.
next night on Raw, Charlotte cuts a
Sasha
promo.
wins back. Yes.
Yeah, they repeated that literally their past three feuds, and honestly, why do I want to see that with Bailey and Charlotte? I thought it would be different, but essentially it's just the same formula, just a different dance partner.
No, it's like
And
WWE's like, okay, we really need to lean on Charlotte, but we need to keep her fresh. So let's give it to this chick for a month, and then give it back to Charlotte. And then let's give
yeah,
it to this chick for a month, and then give it back to Charlotte.
yeah,
So,
like I can see them having Summer Rae come out. Hey, I want a title match, and then she beats Charlotte, and all of a sudden, she loses the belt, and it's like, God, oh my God, why?
because honestly, like, in my eyes, the Raw Women's Championship has kind of devalued just because it goes back and forth so much, and
Uh
it's
huh.
like, okay, just I think it'd be better for Charlotte if you just gave her a solid reign. Maybe build up, oh my God, is she going to beat Nikki Bella's reign or something?
Yeah.
If you're going to do that. But
I
maybe they're
don't.
trying to make her a 16-time women's champion like her dad. So this is
Yeah.
the quickest way to kind of get up there in numbers.
Just pretty much cheap and easy storylines. I
Hmm.
don't
So
mind.
by the end of this year,
Yeah.
will
I
Charlotte
don't.
be 16 now?
Yeah. I don't mind her them going back and forth with the title so much. More as it's the same storyline though. Like you can have an entertaining change of hands. You just gotta make a new story out of it. Get creative with it. You
True
know,
that. Well, I'm actually predicting, like you predicted maybe a fatal four-way. I'm predicting one for Raw for WrestleMania.
who do you?
with Charlotte,
Oh,
Bailey,
that's
Sasha, and
true.
Nia.
That's that I I I forgot about that rumored card. Well, then you know we're not getting the Fatal Four Way for the SmackDown.
No,
Um,
I see that being one-on-one Alexa Naomi and Alexa
yeah.
winning it back in Naomi's hometown. I'm calling that
Mm,
prediction early.
all right. I'm just gonna say Alexa's gonna win it, or no, I'm gonna say Naomi's gonna retain, and I might be wrong there, but nah. You know what? WrestleMania
I
only
hope
sanctions.
I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
All right. So, yeah, I hope you're wrong too. Um, um, but freaking hell. So I think you know, um, mm, what do you think they're gonna do with Dana Brooke?
I don't know. When she came back, was she gone for a little bit?
Like she was gone for a little bit. They made her the whipping girl, and I almost feel bad for Dana. Um, they made her the whipping girl. Then she disappeared, only to make her become the whipping girl again. She interfered for the women's title match.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she
Yeah,
raked Bailey's eyes with something, then Sasha whipped her ass with the crutch, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think
And
at this point for Dana Brooke, um, if they expect to have anything special out of her, they really need to have Charlotte elevate Dana somehow in the end of their story, so people will
yeah,
continue to take Dana Brooke seriously if they still do.
I think you have a perfect outing right here. Um, where
Yeah.
you can make a storyline out of this. You have Dana Brooke finally become a face. You know,
Actually,
finally,
she should have been the one to cost Charlotte the belt to Bailey.
right. So actually, that could work. Hold
Mm-hmm.
on, but unless they still have the plan to make Bailey versus Charlotte at Mania or something. But okay. So you have Dana finally stand up to Charlotte for all the stuff that all the grief that she has caused her, right? And then at their next pay per view, let's say at a Fastlane or at a WrestleMania, you have Dana versus Charlotte. Loser leaves Raw, and then Dana Brooke gets demoted to NXT as she loses to Charlotte. And this would be their way of giving Dana Brooke a fresh start back to NXT.
Right.
Cause I feel like
I like that.
I feel like the hate that has been given for Dana Brooke, and I feel bad because I have given her some grief too. Not against her, but because of the decision to call her up before Bailey. I
Exactly.
feel like some of the hate that is given towards Dana Brooke isn't necessary, especially because not too much of it is any of her fault. Hell, I don't even think any of
Right.
it's her fault. She's new. Um, she came off of injury. She her she hasn't even been given time to shine as a character.
No.
And I don't even think she's been given personal time to like improve. Like her promos are very cookie cutterish, but again, she's new to this, so it's like most of the stuff is not necessary, and people don't understand that about Dana Brooke, which is why I feel like calling her or demoting her back down to NXT would be the best decision for her. It would be a blessing in disguise for Dana Brooke, like it was for Emma. You know,
Very true.
yeah. So, that's what I feel you kind of need to do with Dana at this point.
If they
Um,
plan on saving her,
yeah,
have her go back, lock her in a nice feud with Asuka. That would help elevate her back up.
yeah. Just have her work, have her work with get some personal training with someone who like have her work with like Sarah Amato to help her get better and just prove to the haters that she will, outshine this expectation that she's never gonna get better. Because I'm sure there are like millions of people out there like Dana Brooke will never improve, like acting like you know
Yeah.
she's not the seasoned veteran. Um, and not too many people have that gift of being new to the business and somehow having this ability to you know present your character the way you can. Um,
Now, I forget, Dana Brooke, she came on before the draft, right? Or was it
yes,
during?
she came on WrestleMania week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it was WrestleMania week or right after or something. Okay.
Hmm.
Dang, I didn't realize she's almost been there, well, up on the main roster for almost a year now.
Yeah, yeah,
Then I think you're right. Now is the time to demote her back down to NXT.
yeah, and you have that perfect opportunity with the Charlotte storyline, which I'm hoping they do. Um, okay, so I just wanted to really rehash that conversation there, uh, get your voice heard as much as possible. Um, so let's get down to the curse finally being broken of the rumored matches. So Bray Wyatt won the WWE Championship in the Elimination Chamber
That he
match.
did. Didn't see it coming.
Now, before we get on to the match itself, what did you think of the chamber design?
Okay, I'm like you. I miss the old design, but I do dig the new design.
Hmm,
It looks a lot smaller,
it is.
but I mean, yeah. And like the metal parts outside the pods are no longer great. It looks smooth, so it doesn't look as intimidating. But I mean, I guess for this new era, it's cool.
I mean, I
It almost looks like it's shaped like a bounce house with chains.
it's
You
it's
know, like
it's basically a cylinder now. Like, I don't like that they replaced the metal grates with like padding. Like that
yeah,
to me pissed me off immensely because the chamber's supposed to be unforgiving. It's supposed to be this demonic
right.
structure, and they pretty much like they they trivialized it. They made it like this. I don't know. Like they gave it this Jeopardy type build. Like before the match, like they gave it this Jeopardy build. Like like the goofy music, the lights. Like what was that? Um, that was the first thing that pissed me off. And honestly, I was looking closely at the design. I see the padding that pissed me off too. But I get it. You don't want to risk injury, but at the same time, it's
Man, the
just
original
like,
chamber was so much cooler looking.
yeah, yeah, and
Like honestly, the grates were the very first thing I noticed. I was like, huh.
like
The grates are
honestly,
missing.
I wouldn't mind the new design had they not replaced the grates.
Yeah.
And I think like they even tried to cover that by like if you look closely, like the grates have like or the padding has like the grate sort of design like look.
Yeah, I
So I
noticed
think
that, but I'm like, it's
they
not the same.
yeah. So I think they even tried to cover it and like it just overall just made the chamber look
Don't worry,
goofy.
just Sharpie some grates on there. They won't know the difference.
It 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 looked really goofy. Um it was bad, man. Um
Damn you, PG Elimination Chamber.
you just made the list. Um but in all seriousness, man, eh, I like the new design. I just don't like the padding. That was the only thing that really bothered me. So
Yes, I
let's
guess I can say I like it. I don't love it.
yeah. Yeah, so let's get on to the chamber match itself. So,
I've seen a lot of chamber matches, and this one was it was good.
yeah,
It
I
wasn't the
real
greatest, wasn't the worst.
yeah. I really liked how everyone sold the chamber match like they were dead in it. Like I saw Cena completely motionless for like Cena, Styles, and Ambrose were all down for like a good 30 minutes all at once. Miz was
Yeah.
looking incredibly concerned in the match. Um, I kind of figured if this was his reaction to this year's Elimination Chamber, you really should have seen uh the 2012 match. That one was pretty brutal. The one with CM Punk and Miz and all them.
I don't think I've seen that one. I'm gonna have to check that one out on the network.
Yeah, that one's a pretty good one. Look up Elimination Chamber 2012.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that one was actually one of my favorite ones. I used to watch that one like almost every day. The Raw one, not the SmackDown one.
Okay.
And it's rare of me to say something like that, but it's true. Um, um, Overall, though, I really liked most of the spots in the match. I really liked a lot of this stuff. They clearly set up Corbin and Ambrose.
Ambrose, yeah.
Um, um,
Corbin's gonna walk away the new IC champ. I'm calling it now.
yeah, we'll see, we'll see.
Well, we had a conversation about that where I think I said Corbin needs a good run. He has the potential, but he needs a good run with a
Yeah,
mid card title, and I think it'll really help him out down the road.
yeah. I think you're gonna make the guy top star. That's the way to go.
And Ambrose
Um,
being a former WWE champion, I mean, it'll look good on Corbin's resume.
it'll
That's
look
something I would do if I were writing.
yeah. Um, yeah, but then where does Ambrose go after that?
Very true.
Like I'm having a hard time like saying something like that. Um, Let me
Well, with the
see.
rumors with that Shield reunion,
That's true.
even though I think they
Um,
should just keep it at a one night thing, but
yeah. I think personally, I like all these guys individually now. There's no real need to regress their
right.
characters. I think putting them, a one-time deal wouldn't be too bad. But
Well, to be honest with you, when you've had a popular stable like that and then you split them up, and I hate when they do this, like, and then they try and put them back together years later, but it's never the same, you know?
it really isn't, man.
So
Um,
just keep it buried, let it end on the high note that it ended on, and,
yeah.
just keep it a one
Clearly,
night special. Oh
all
my
three of
God,
them are on
you
good
know?
terms now. So, just
Yeah.
yeah,
Give us a cool moment, but leave it at that.
yeah.
Let these
um,
guys shine on their own.
I would like to see Sanity versus the Shield. Like I would love to see the promos they would put together. Um,
Oh yeah, Sanity over in NXT. I like them.
yeah, yeah. I could listen to Eric Young on the mic for days. The way he goes with his raspy voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, I thought the match itself was good. I like that Bray Wyatt got over the two big names, the bottom three, the
Yeah,
final
Cena and
two,
Styles.
Cena and Styles. Um,
And that match made me happy, almost like Naomi, because, Bray, he really deserves it. I
hmm
didn't see it coming, and I think we both mentioned earlier on the last podcast that it would be cool to see Bray versus Orton at WrestleMania, but they're probably not going to give it to us. They're going to rest on John Cena and Randy Orton. And they did the
yeah,
opposite, so I was very happy with that.
yeah. So we finally the curse has been lifted of the curse of the rumor mills. WWE's version of an anti-joke. Um,
Yeah?
Hopefully they just go with their guts sometimes and just let the rumors go, you know,
Yeah.
instead of
And
changing
just
it
roll
right,
with it.
and listen. And it's not wrong to listen to the fans. I'm not saying let them take over your show, but just let them recept almost how they feel. Like, you know, people wanted Bray to
Exactly.
win the championship. There you go. You have White winning the championship now. He cut a great promo on SmackDown, and he he actually had a great. This was a great triple threat match on SmackDown too. Um, I don't know if you saw that SmackDown.
Nuh-uh. I saw a clip, but I haven't seen the entire match yet.
You gotta watch it, dude. Really good stuff. Um,
Nice.
Will and I, we were like, we had like so many funny chants during the show. Like during the Becky versus Mickey chants, or Mickey match, we were next to a dude who was like one row above me, or not one row, like he was like across from me from the, I guess, the bleachers, we'll call it. And he was like, yeah, I guess one row above me, and he was like heckling the ref the entire time, which gave Will and I the idea to like, heckle the ref too. And we were like chanting like, this ref sucks, this ref sucks, this ref sucks. During that, we were also chanting, bring back, or we miss Tim White, clap, da, 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 da. We miss Tim White.
No, you guys didn't.
Yes, we did. We did, all three of us. And then another dude right above him, he was like, "We miss, bring back Hebner, bring back Hebner." So then all four of us started chanting, "Bring back Hebner, bring back Hebner."
That is
Like,
too great.
yeah, and we started a whole "Marry Me, Becky" chant. Well, I was chanting "Marry Me, Becky." Everybody else was chanting "Marry him, Becky." Um,
Marry him.
yeah, like one dude, like two or three rows above me, was like, "He's a good man." I was dying. I was laughing my ass off. I
Oh,
told
that
him,
is
I,
so
I
great.
literally told the dude, "You know what? You're gonna be my best man." I didn't even know who the dude was. I told him, "You're my best man officially." Um, oh my
We're
God.
gonna see Ed on the next season of Total Divas.
Hell no. Don't ruin my night with that. Um, Come on. I like, how insulting that would be to have Becky Lynch on Total Divas, dude. My issue's
So
not
far,
with me.
the only diva I heard of to turn it down has been AJ Lee.
I heard Sasha Banks even announced she would never go on Total Divas.
Really good for her.
Yeah.
I hope Becky doesn't either.
Yeah.
I hope none of the horsewomen do. I think it'll kill it for me.
Yeah, it really will. Like, I would hate to see, like, of all people, I would hate to see Becky on Total Divas.
I
Like,
was
just
disappointed that page went on. I was like, no, you seem like the type of chick that wouldn't do this.
like I would just like I would like, dude, like my whole fandom for Becky would just probably even die.
Well, I
As
was
much as I
reading
would hate
Total
to say
Divas
it,
is the reason why we're probably gonna get Cena and Nikki Bella against Maurice and The Miz.
I don't care. See, I don't care about that match. There's a reason
Yeah.
I don't care about that match. And as much as I like Nikki Bella, and I'll give her a lot of credit because she does deserve credit. She's improved drastically on the mic. She's improved drastically in the ring. But I don't. Overall, if she were to retire tomorrow, I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
Exactly.
And that's not a
I
knock
didn't
on
even know
Nikki.
last WrestleMania was Brie Bella's retirement match. I had no idea until a few months ago. I was like, oh wait, Brie retired. I
I
was
was
like, what?
I I like heard that she was retiring the day after, and I was like, oh well, at least she ended up on a good note. And that'll
Yeah,
be the
no, I
same for
never
me
even
and
knew.
Nikki. And again, it's not like I hate Nikki, but overall, I'm just.
Hello? Hello?
Hey,
Hey, Ed?
yeah, I'm back. Sorry, my
No,
my
okay.
yeah, my thing was disconnected. Sorry, my thing was disconnected. Okay,
No
so
worries.
like I was saying, yeah, Nikki's not the person I'm gonna go over to see, and it's nothing personal. But again, I just have, I have bigger interests, and I care about certain characters and people like that, and I don't want Becky to like lose her character, and I don't want Becky to
Right.
become somebody totally different. Now granted, I'm a true fan, and I'll always stay loyal to her because I love Becky. And I
Yeah.
don't mean that in a, oh, I want to marry her type of way. I mean, like, I love Becky Lynch, the person, because of, what? She has inspired me to actually want to wrestle, you know. Hell, she actually saved me, like, from stopping watching wrestling, which is something I'll get into another day. Um, So, I'll support her through anything, but like to see her on Total Divas, that would just that would just be a big setback for me.
Well,
Uh,
let's hope that she doesn't sell out.
yeah, and um but yeah, getting back to the whole thing, man, I just hope she doesn't end up on Total Divas. Um Wow, way to kill my night off of the fact that I was telling you a couple of chants, Nigma. I hate you.
Sorry, didn't mean to piss on your parade there. Hey,
Uh,
remember, she gave you a maybe. So,
yeah,
remember. Yeah.
that that's you know what, you made me happy all over again. Um,
Yeah, there we go.
but yeah, but so many people, man, so many people were chanting, marry him, Becky. Like, dude, it was crazy. Like people from other rows were like, hey man, good job. It's like, like I was literally having conversations with these dudes as the match was going on after all that. Um,
Dude, that's so sick. I want to watch the episode and see if the chance made it in.
yeah, um, yeah. So like, we also there was also a chance. So like during the triple threat match, we had a Bray Wyatt versus AJ. We had an encounter, and the entire time Will didn't know who to cheer for. So he was like, "I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent." So I started chanting it with him. We were both chanting, "I'm indifferent." We're the only two dudes chanting this, and all I can see, like in front of me, like the front seats were people on the floor seats in front of the wrestlers. Like
Yeah.
I see people that are like looking at us and laughing at us because we're sitting here chanting, "I'm indifferent," and it was too funny. Like, and then during the 205 Live, we were chanting all night long for like the Rich Swann match and the "Can you handle this?" and like, oh my god, it was such a fun night. Like, it was just like, oh
Oh, so they filmed 205 Live with SmackDown?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
right after the show. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah. So you just know you got an extra hour to, watch, which is probably one of the reasons why the 205 Live crowds are dead, according to certain people. I
Because
didn't.
they're worn out from SmackDown.
Hey, dude, we were sitting here having the time of our lives during 205 Live. Now I'm sure some people did leave, so it was like, okay, not as big of a show. Um, but
That's so
over.
funny because I remember like back in my day, like those shows like Heat and Velocity would
Uh,
be taped before Raw or SmackDown. Like it was like the warm-up show. They would film
yeah.
that first.
Well, for
Then
now
they would
that
do the main show.
now that is Superstars and Main Event, which they got rid of. So thank God for that. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and then even after 205 Live, we got this dark match with Miz and Dean Ambrose, and oh my God, was that an awesome match? Like the Miz was trying to sing to Maurice. Like even during the match, he was singing to Maurice as he was attacking Dean Ambrose. It was too funny. Um, he kept this he kept this catchphrase of trying to sing to my beautiful sexy wife Maurice. Um, and most of that was just it was gold, man. It was a gold show.
That is
Um,
awesome.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that was my SmackDown event. So yeah, that was the triple threat match. You gotta watch that. um, okay,
I think I
so
know what I'm going bet to tonight then. SmackDown.
yeah, so now that concludes our Elimination Chamber review with a couple of topics in between. Apart from that, do you have any after show plugs, good sir?
I actually do not.
Well, all right then. Me, I would do all my plugs, but you know what? My voice is tired. Um, and you know what? I just don't feel like plugging anything. So, good night to you all. We hope you have a good night.
Good night,
Um,
Wrestling World.
for those of you who tuned in, which is all zero of you viewers, be sure to let me know if my sign made it on SmackDown or not. Um, all right. Good night, guys. We're out.
Night, night.